He came home from war, only to fight the battle he never saw coming. Yi Line immediately grabs emotion plus curiosity. Viewers torrent revenge. Exactly her broken truth style.
The sound of boots echoed down the hospital corridor, each step heavy with exhaustion and memory. Captain Ryan Hayes had just returned home after 8 months deployed overseas. His uniform was dusty, his heart heavier than his bag. But even through the fatigue, one thing kept him going, the thought of his wife, Emily. For years, she'd been his anchor. Every letter she wrote, every photo she sent, reminded him what he was fighting for. But lately, something had changed. Her replies had grown shorter, her tone colder. Still, Ryan told himself it was just stress. Love, after all, wasn't easy when distance was measured in continents. When he landed back home, he didn't tell her. He wanted it to be a surprise. He planned everything, the roses, the dinner, even the song they danced to on their wedding night. But fate had other plans. When he reached his street, he parked 2 houses away. Her car was in the driveway. The lights were dim inside, except for the faint flicker of a TV. He smiled until he saw another car parked outside. A black one. Not familiar. His heart skipped. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe. As he walked toward the door, his hand trembled. He heard laughter, her laughter. But it wasn't the soft, shy laugh he remembered. It was playful, carefree, and followed by a man's voice. He didn't storm in. Soldiers are trained to stay calm, even when everything inside them is burning. He stepped back quietly, his mind racing. His phone buzzed, a message from Emily. "Miss you tonight, babe. Can't wait for you to come home soon." The message came while she was laughing inside another man's arms. Ryan's chest tightened. He didn't knock. He didn't call. He just left. The next morning, he went to see his old army friend, Mike, a tech specialist who had once helped the military gather field intelligence. "I need a favor," Ryan said quietly. But not for revenge, for truth. Over the next week, Ryan gathered evidence. Not to humiliate Emily publicly, but to face reality himself. Photos, messages, recorded calls, it was all there. Every detail tore at the seams of his heart, but he kept going, like a soldier finishing a mission he never wanted. When he finally confronted her, it wasn't with anger. It was calm, almost too calm. She came home one evening to find the house spotless, candles lit, and dinner waiting. Ryan stood there in his uniform, looking just as she remembered him the day they got married. "Ryan," she gasped, pretending to be surprised. "You didn't tell me you were back." He smiled faintly. "I wanted it to be special." They sat at the table. The silence between them was sharp. "How's everything been?" he asked softly. Emily's smile faltered. "It's been hard. I've missed you." He nodded, eyes calm but unreadable. "I missed you too. So much, in fact, that I planned something tonight." She looked confused. "Plan what?" He took out his phone and pressed play. Her laughter filled the room again, only this time, through a recording. Followed by a man's voice saying her name in a way that shattered the air. Emily froze. The color drained from her face. "Ryan, please, He stood up slowly. "No need to explain. Soldiers don't fight for people who surrender their vows." Tears welled in her eyes. "It was a mistake, I swear. I thought you'd never come back." He looked at her, pain flickering beneath his calm expression. "You thought wrong." Then he did something she never expected. He took off his wedding ring, placed it on the table beside the cold candles, and whispered, "You don't deserve the symbol anymore." He walked to the door, then stopped. "I don't need to destroy your name, Emily. You'll remember what you lost every time you look in the mirror." She broke down, calling after him, but he didn't look back. A few weeks later, Ryan received deployment orders again, but this time, he refused. He left the army for good. He'd fought enough wars, both outside and within his heart. He moved to a quiet coastal town, living alone for months. The nights were long, but at least they were honest. Sometimes, he'd look at the ocean and think about her, about how love can turn into silence faster than a gunshot. One afternoon, he received a letter. It was from Emily. Inside, there was no apology, no excuse, just a short note. You taught me what real loyalty looks like, and I'll live every day knowing I broke it. I don't ask for forgiveness, only that you heal. Ryan folded the letter and threw it into the fire. As the paper turned to ash, he whispered softly, "Forgiveness isn't something I owe, it's something I earn for myself." From that day on, he began to live again. Not as a soldier, not as a husband, but as a man learning to breathe without the weight of betrayal. Years later, when people in town spoke of him, they called him the quiet man who smiled with sad eyes. They never knew his story, but they could feel it in the way he carried himself, with pain that had turned into peace.
Moral: loyalty isn't proven when life is easy, it's tested when love is far away. Some betrayals don't need revenge. Silence and self-respect expose the truth louder than any words ever could.